Hello, dear ones. I want to talk about light today in a form of light worker, light language, and light codes. It's something that I hear more and more about it, and more people are connecting in there, tuning into it, and expressing it in each their own unique way. And somehow that that bug has caught me too. There's something that's been stirring in me for a while now, and I am just allowing the new energies to take me to wherever I need to go, open me up to whatever wants to come through. So for some reason, this has been very, very like busy inside of me. Lightworker, I think we've talked a lot about that. I have a whole playlist about lightworkers and, how to really step into that energy that we came here for. And I started to paint a lot more, which has been fabulous. So I have not been doing as many YouTubes, which is simply because I'm following the energy. That's more or less all I talk about here on all my YouTubes for about 2 years now. That we have something greater inside of us that is coming more to the forefront and that is pulling us more in. There is a connection that's happening. And what is so important about that is that most people don't really know how to trust that and what it means. It's so different from everything else. Most people only trust their mind and other people and what is happening out in the world. So to make that switch to just only come inside and only start trusting that, and of course, it's a transition. It's not like we totally erase our mind because it can be very, very helpful and practical in many, many ways, but it doesn't know anything really. It's an instrument of observation, and it's not something that can give us the answers and the insights and the connection that we can only get by going inside, learning the language of our heart, of our body, of our soul. It's like the soul language or the mother tongue. And I know many, many people are on that same frequency, and hopefully you are too. So if you consider yourself a light worker, something in you remembers that you came here for something greater than what most people are identified with. And just to get to the point to accept that, that took me many years too. But I knew for many, many years, I was just like, it's not here yet what I came here for. I didn't really know what it meant, but I just knew I came here for something. And I think that something is pretty obvious for more and more of us because we have moved through, cleared out all that false matrix identity, and so that we are more aligned, more in coherence with our heart, with our soul, with our being. And you can just check with yourself. Are you on that frequency? Are you also on that path where you are feeling something else is coming online more and more, and you're learning to trust it more and more, but you can't say for sure, like, this is how it is. Maybe you can. For me, it's a very flowy thing. If somebody would ask me, but do you know that's true? As I would say, yeah, yeah, because it's here. But can I prove it, in the regular way that this three-dimensional world does it? I can't because that doesn't fit in here. It's more like a flow. So it's kind of catching the flow, catching the surf and start moving with it and start understanding what it is. I have done a lot of videos on that. Um, you can also look at the playlist about longing, because that's a lot of it where we're longing for something, and when we finally learn to break through and connect with that instead of dismissing it and thinking it's nonsense or we don't deserve it or whatever it is. Once we can start going in there, then you are actually stepping on your surfboard that will take you home. I've talked a lot about this in the past. So now lately, as I'm following, painting, being creative, it's been growing a lot in me. And I've taken some painting classes, and I'm painting a lot here at home. And there was one I took a class with actually many years ago. It was called Anchoring in the Light. And I loved it. There was really the paintings. You used the white in a certain way, so it actually started shining through. And now that same teacher, she was offering a workshop about light codes. And that again sparked my interest. So I took the class and I finished the painting. And part of that was, of course, that there were light codes on it. And I have never ever written or studied light codes. But there's just something when you just start letting your hand do it and let it come out. It's kind of learning to bypass the mind that wants to understand or dismiss or judge everything. You just follow it and see what happens. Do I know what these light codes mean? I do not. I do not. I'm at the very early beginning of this too, where I'm kind of following. So I'm always here. I'm sharing things. Many times I'm at the beginning of something or in the middle, sometime at the far end, but I always share it so you can maybe catch something that you can relate to. And maybe you're beginning to feel something about light codes, or maybe when you hear people talk about it, something in you comes alive, or it's like, what? You can feel it. It's a feeling. So I would inspire you or invite you to feel that feeling. And it's almost like you surrender yourself to that feeling, like, okay, take me. I don't know what it means. I know it's here. I know it, there's an energy. So I'm gonna follow it. So show me, you surrender to the energy. And it was just absolutely wonderful. And the same woman, she was also doing a little bit of light language. In her case, it was singing. And it was just so, so beautiful. I would just feel the activation. It was just so, so beautiful. And from that place, we would start painting. So, so there's the light workers, probably you and I. Then there is the light codes that I just talked about. And then there's light language. Light language is something that it's also just happening. It's kind of weird. Um, I just start speaking in a way that may not mean anything to the mind. It doesn't. But there's a feeling that comes with it. There's a sense of joy, ease. I can almost feel that my body really enjoys it because it comes with this joy. So when I'm out walking or doing things, suddenly there's just like, I just want to speak in a way that I have never done before. And it's just all coming together, my friends. And I want to just bring it to you as a way to maybe help you open up to that if it's in you. It's not something you want to try and do if you don't feel it here. You will know inside, either by me speaking about it, or by you may have heard other people talk about light codes or light language, and you will feel something gets activated. I want to invite you to feel that. Let that take you to the next step. You may not have any idea what it means, as I don't, but I know that this energy, this feeling, this presence about it, that is real. And I'm going to keep giving myself to that, surrendering to that, and then see what happens. This is not for our mind. This is beyond the mind. And what I'm beginning to experience with this light code, light language, especially like language right now, I have a feeling that this is a new energy frequency that's coming in that is so different from the language that we are used to speaking. And it doesn't really matter what language it is, although there might be some languages that are much more wholesome, coherent, loving. But, and again, you can see if this resonates with you. Because when I talk about it, I usually get my chills. That's another way that the light speaks, that it confirms or whatever experience we have. So the way we have been speaking for many, 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 many years is a very outdated way of communicating. It includes limitations, division, duality, anger, heaviness. Yeah, you and I, right? That's duality. There's something deeply, deeply missing in the way we have been communicating with each other. And I kind of want to compare it also with the telepathy tapes. You may have heard those already. They're unbelievable. So, so beautiful. These autistic beings, souls, who are actually have been communicating with each other from a soul level, through telepathy, so that I have not been using their words or their mouth. And they call them non-speakers. And but all along, and that's what's been coming out now, they have actually been communicating, and their communication is pure love, pure oneness. Very, very different from the way we have been brought up and learned to communicate. So again, if it's true, if it resonates for you, just imagine that there is a new language coming in, and we can call it light language. It doesn't sound anything like what we're used to. And this language is how we can start communicating once we get more connected with it. And because so many of us, we feel so complete with the old paradigm, right? The false matrix, which is all about division and duality and just not nice. So with that comes also a new language. And as the new earth is, coming online here and there, and maybe everywhere, more and more people are connecting with it. I do believe that the light language is going to be a big part of that, where we are going to listen to each other from the body, from the heart, from the soul, because we speak from there. And with the other, it's just like the false matrix. It's just going to start peeling off. And because we don't want to speak like that anymore. It doesn't mean, of course, we speak lovingly too. I mean, it's not all black or all white, but we have been living in the black and white duality. So we are more and more leaning to the light, to the love, and that can come through language and symbols and expressions, sound, movement, art. Very different way of communicating, something we have to start getting used to. Let me just see. Okay. Kalaka uia lananisni lalaku malamahin haulakatnit no valapalakala uyahana hana hawakoya sidna paloko tu fanalaya shulakit numu wicked ya wit no tuku mo bakali. Thank you, my friends. Feel free to comment below. Of course, I would love to hear from you. I wish you a blessed day.